Alright, welcome back everyone. Here we are after one day of building. Got sort of underwhelming to look at, but it's slow progress is progress on these things. I don't believe I need these guys today. Set them aside. And like I say, got our walls of our little book nook started. And right off the bat, misaligned this one to start with, but I think it's going to be I'm going to be okay with it. I think it's going to be, there's going to be enough to cover my mistakes. But if you're new here, this is what I do. I buy these kits and build them step by step, mostly in real time. You get to see all my successes and all my failures, and I hopefully fix those inevitable failures as they come up. Upload daily and just try and have a good time. We're not solving the world's problems, just building silly little models, having a bit of fun. Now if you tuned in all the way at the end of yesterday, I made these guys. I got a little semi-spherical on the back. I did one of them I glued with like regular glue, and I tried to use a hot glue on the other one. I hear one of the dogs stirring around outside. I'm not sure if she's going to get up and want something or not. But I think I just got lucky. This is the hot glue one, and it looks a little bit better in person, and it may not look all different there, but I think this one, I think I just got lucky putting that one in. So you can see a little glob on the back. Well, not really, but there's a little glob on the back there. But they're both pretty stable from what we're wanting them to do. And I'm not sure how to do the next bit, because they definitely skip over some pieces. But we'll figure that out as we go along. Basically, looks like it's supposed to put our little chains into these doodads and then hang them off of there. And there's no instructions or hints or clues or anything on the manual, so we're going to be figuring out as we go along. Let's see. Of course, these things are so small, I have a hard time even picking them up. How big is that in relation to the whole little... Trying to see if I can kind of glue. Okay, so that's not gonna. Okay, so it does not go through the hole on that bit. I think I've got 2 or 3 things that I want to make today, so I think I'm gonna do the back and forth thing a little bit. So I know that can be a little bit frustrating, but my intention is to sort of let this glue dry onto these things and then attempt to glue the resulting structure onto this, because it's supposed to go up into the little notch of our star there. And it's going to be interesting to find out how I do that, because I'm looking forward to seeing myself. But let's start with get me a couple of drops of glue in the top of our bells, or I'm not even sure what these are supposed to represent, but I want to give it a good chance. So I'll just dab there. And got an invisible string already. That's... And now the glue's everywhere. Okay, so I got that one sit down. Let me see if I can get the little chain to go into the glue there now. And of course it sticks to the tweezers now too. Okay, but it looks like it's gonna stay in there. I'm not sure. I don't want it appears it's wanting to end up hanging down. Maybe it's supposed to be a lamp or something. I can't. So I'm thinking if I turn it upside down, the glue is still holding on to our little chain. But I'm not holding on to my... So, ooh. It's already got a little bit of... I just knocked it out. Can't get a hold of it to position it correctly. And I don't Another pair of tweezers, maybe. Trying to get it to come. Oh, I'm losing grip on this bit. I'm trying to get it to go straight out. Dang it. It's odd shaped. It's not conducive to being grabbed. Okay, there we go. I think it's fairly horizontal there. It appears. Lay it down on the side. I'm just guessing here on what I'm making, so bear with me on that part. Okay, but I'm gonna quit touching that one and hope it stays. Oh, I probably don't want to probably leave it laying down. Okay, so maybe it won't glue itself to the surface there. I'm a little more optimistic on the next part. Hold you down. Get glue in there. And the invisible strings return. It is good glue, but that's always been my bane for this stuff. Okay, same sort of thing, trying there. Okay, that one appears to be going fairly upright. So I'm hopeful. Now I'm gonna set those, like I said, I'm gonna set those aside, and we'll get back to those for the end of the night, so we can see how it goes and get into a little more, I think, interesting, or more my size. You know, it's still small, but I can actually manipulate these pieces a little better. Make us a bookshelf, bookcase. Got our wood laminates there. But we're going to flip my page over here. Okay. So start off with separate. I get the good tweezers. Or the better tweezers. I don't know that any of them are good. These guys laid out. We got 3. It's one size and one a little bit longer. So you go onto that one. Got these guys. 1 second. Okay, yeah. One of them gets the laminate on both sides, and 2 of them are only on one side. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've actually looked at this and tried to figure out what I was doing beforehand, but I've forgotten in the 10 minutes since I started. Okay, so I'll start. So everything gets one side, and then I put another side. Yeah. Okay, so let's stick with the B7000. It seems to be nice. That super thick won't take much, but I want to make sure I get. I'm going to sort of spread it out a little bit. Try and make sure I get to the corners. I don't think I'll need extremely good coverage on it, because it's going to be in the back. Okay, let's put it on there pretty straight. Like I said, this is in the back of the bookshelf, so it's not going to be super visible, but I do want to make sure I get a good coat on it. And then move on to the next one. Let me try. Make sure I glue all the way down to the edge on that one. You. Go back to that's sort of irritating to do the swirling thing, so I'm just going to try and do a bead down the middle. It shows up on camera better too. It did until I moved my hand to get rid of the shadow. Move that one around a little bit on me, but I think got it back in place. Okay. And then let's see, one more on the back side. And I should have started off with this. I was having so much trouble with that fabric yesterday that I've made an executive decision. I'm going to order me some crafting felt, because I had so much better luck with the felt, and try and substitute that in place of the actual fabric. And we'll see how that goes. I think it'll work better because it just seems to be much more trimmable and cuttable, and you don't have to worry about it fraying out. And we'll see how it goes. It's supposed to be here tomorrow, day after tomorrow, when this video shows, and I don't think I'm going to be needing any more of that before I film on that day. You know, if Amazon delivers as promised, which I'd say they're 80% around here. They generally deliver on time most of the time. Got a little bit too much white showing on the edge of that one. Let's see if I can fit my scissors in to take a sliver off. And this is overkill because it's not going to be showing. Got most of it. Let's do a little. Okay, looks like I'm gonna edge here too. Okay, enough fiddling around with that. Let's see here. I guess we got distracted there. Like I say, the thing on these kits that always really sort of deters me is the fabric part of them. I really like the way these more involved kits, I guess you'd call them, look. it just always have the fabric is always what really makes me regret doing them, because it's you cut into it and it frays on the ends, and you cut the right size and it starts shrinking because it falls apart basically. Okay, get you lined up the ends there. I guess going anywhere. Okay, so we got one two-sided and three single sides officially. Okay, now these over here, and got our shelf, and we're going little details down there so you know which side is the front. And this one goes in, got that little notch out of the side there, so it goes on here. So I'm thinking this will be a good one to get my square out on. Get a little more light on here. The problem with my light is these things puts that line right down the middle of it. I don't know if it bothers you or not, but it bothers me. We're going to put you in like so. Okay, so get out. Trying to decide. I want to try using this a little bit more. I'm having mixed results with it. Even though it's only supposed to put out a dot, it seems to be putting out a little bit more than a dot. But I don't hate it. It gives me a little bit more. I don't know if it didn't really show on there, but that seems like a reasonable amount of glued for something this small. Let me see that. And then I should stick myself to it. Okay, but this down and back, and that's well, I have been going with the old brush stuff like that. So let's see if that. It seems to be even with that little bit that I put on there. We still got some seepage out, which is not gonna. I don't think it'll be an issue, but clean off that corner there. Get a good. Do have a nice flush top. I like that. And the corner that says this has been a really handy little doodad for stuff like this. Get them square. I had excuse me. I had my homemade jig that I used for a long time, but I know this one's. I don't know it's square, but I know it's pretty close to square. And of course, anytime you're dealing with square stuff, you also got, is this part square too? But it seems to do a good job, I think. Now these guys, looks like they've got their detail on them too. We got, it's not centered on there. This is got tighter on this end. Got a little more space on this end of our thing, and it looks like, based on the picture I'm seeing, it's supposed to be this one. The short end is supposed to go up. Like say this one goes in here. The tricky one's going to be the middle one because I don't have a square to work with, a square edge to work with. But that go in something like that. Got a little bit of a, like it's a millimeter down here that's sticking up, so I think that'll be all right. Okay, for this one, let's try the. And this is getting pretty old, so it's a little thick, but it's not the worst I ever had. And I just generally get a nice even coat on it, thin but even. The corner, over it down. And as I was talking about this thing, I picked them up off the Amazon haul portion of the site, and they're like $4 or $5 at the most. And that, that's been a few months ago. I don't know if anything changed since then. I haven't looked at them, but I've actually picked up. I've got a couple of them already. I think I got 2. This thing got a nice, pretty good edge there. Move over to this side. And that's a little bit proud on that one, so I'll move it to the bottom, but I'm still going to be pushing up way. So I think if I go in, make sure I get towards the top. Yes, I think I can get the pressure on it to get, get that joint right there nice and snug. And we still got that little, down at the bottom, it's a little overhang. Okay. But I'm pretty sure this will work. Make sure I got it. Okay, right side up, like that. And I will stick with my glue mostly on this end on it. I probably don't even need as much as I had last time. Actually, let me try and do just a little bit on either end. Maybe that'll be more effective than trying to go the distance. A little nice. And all that talking, I still turned it upside down, so I'm good. With a check before I stopped. Okay. Pressure on it. More pressure on the. Okay. Sticky. Alright. Okay, still going nice seam, a nice edge there. Like I say, where it wasn't attached is off just a fraction there. You can sort of see. But at this scale, I don't think it'll show looking at it. Now this one, I'm just going to go right down the middle, because that square won't help us on that. But actually, now I'm about to flip it over and start working on the front. You know what? I think I'm going to wait on this piece and use the B7000 so I can get it hopefully relatively centered after I get the back side put on. I think that'll actually work better. We'll find out. Because like I said, it's just a trim piece. It's not structural or anything. It's not required to have anything on it. So yeah, I'm going to save that for later. And I just realized I forgot. I need 4 pieces I forgot. Should be in here. Tray of goodies, I think. Looks like, yeah, those. I did not realize they had little notches cut out of the corners. I think that will make it easier to mount them. There's only 4 of those, that's what I'm on. I think it is. Alright. Nope. Oh, fall over. Okay, so this will be a good test to see that it's the right piece. Yeah, they fit in there snugly. Alright, cool. So I got. Okay, now I just realized why I need that in the middle. That's going to be, because I'm going to be pushing down on that. So yeah, I probably will need to put that piece in there to brace it up a little bit. Change of plans and change of plans again. Okay, get you right side up. So let's see, I should be able to get it pretty well. Ooh, I think our lines here might be good. That's right. No, it's not. It's gonna be, yeah, the whole detail showing, so it's not. No, okay. Just want to try and make sure get both these vertical lines here showing in the final product. Okay. Once again, a little bit here, there, maybe touch in the middle. Right side up and pressure down. Okay. And barely got shown on that side there. It's pretty close, yeah. Yeah, I like that. Looking good. Okay, now, and we're bringing back in our, these are our vertical pieces. That's a two-sider, and that goes in the middle. That goes here. And, okay, and let's see here. Here's a detailed picture that I'm trying to. Okay, so this one's going on the inside of that one. And I think that's saying make it square with the edge. I'm not, I don't see anything like, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. This one I can figure out. Yeah, that one. Yeah, let's see. Do a dry run here. So okay, that's top. There are curves there. Oh, what's it? Okay. Yeah, and we're going from the top down. Okay. Yeah. So this, I think maybe. The long one's supposed to, maybe it's supposed to be flush with the bottom here. Maybe. There's no. Okay. There's no real indicator on how to space the shelves out either. Looks like you're just eyeballing it. There's no measurements or anything there. Let me pause and take a look, see what the camera translator is on that picture. Maybe it's telling me something that I should already know. Okay, the caption of the close-up picture was that it's close-up picture. So no love there. Okay, so I'm going to start over here. And just go with the short one to one side. And you go in square with the corner. Let me finish it. I got a little overhang on my paper there, so let me grab a knife. Go down the edge with it too, maybe, if I'm lucky. A lot of times I try to do this and I end up tracing up into the wood. A little bit more on the end here. Getting close. Just a smidge more. That will. Okay, so back to work. Okay, so starting on the end without. I'm going to start over here because it's got that little notch there. I think I'll work my way over Oh, that shouldn't matter. We'll figure it out. Get the square going again. That's going to go in. Okay, that. And the long one, it'll be across the bottom, but for the moment I'm going to do across the top just to check the dimensions. So I can use my square on both sides. But, okay, maybe use it on the bottom. Okay, so you're going here. There. I don't have room, so this must be okay. It's I think it looks like, yeah, we're doing one side. We're doing that sort of thing where it's on the outside here, on the top over there. Okay. And that actually fits pretty close on the thing, because I don't think it's got room for two of them. Doesn't have, it's got a good overhang over here. It's nothing to grab onto. There. That is a weird way to do it. But hang on, we got this notch out here. Okay, I'm starting to see. So got that notch there, so it's going to be down a little on this side. Then the long one goes across the bottom. This will be up that much on this side, so that, okay, yeah. I think I'm feeling like that might be it. So I will. And it's that sort of. If it'll. Oh, yeah, it's gonna focus. I'm looking at that. See, that looks like. Looks like that one's on top and this one's beside. And based on the picture, it looks like it. You see what I'm. I hope you see what I'm talking about. I think I do. So, go in. Okay, that's our middle piece still. This is one side. That's okay. So I'm gonna go down this side on here. Get you squared in, and that will end up. If we go underneath, it's gonna line up with the bottom. Pretty close to the bottom of our case there. Yeah, I'm starting to feel that's what they intended us to do. And let me run my. Make sure I don't got any overlap here. I'm gonna just make sure I got a good surface there for it to, the paper pushing the glue off. I'm going to glue it down here. Okay. So, time to bite the bullet and go for it. So this one's going in all the way up and all the way over, like so. Okay. I'm going to stick with this stuff because I can do a better control of the application of it with the brush most of the time. Clean it off where there's not much on it. And I've had some success with this, some failures with it, so making these corners and furniture and stuff, generally it's acceptable. Pressure down. Alright, so that's standing up there. And I think, hindsight once again, should have done this the back part first, because now this is not flat. got a little, this one's a little bit taller than that, so it's sitting at a little bit of an angle, so it's not as square as it could be, but I think it'll be okay. Now, this is my long boy across the bottom there. So, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to actually go for the shelf. And say I'm just sort of eyeballing it. Looks like about, okay, the shelves are not making contact with the side here. I assumed they would. Looks like this part's supposed to be a little bit wider gap. How close does the? That's not much. Okay, now double check this one. How tight is that middle? Okay, middle is pretty snug there. So, okay. So I think, now, once again, more hindsight. Put the shelves in first. That way you know exactly how far over to take this one to lock it in, plus you got the extra gluing surface there. So yeah, I think the shelves going in first is going to be the way to do it. Even though the instructions, like I say, the instructions are sort of a little bit willy-nilly, but it's like, looks like about, like I say, eyeballing it, looks like about right there's where we want to go with that. So I'll just get my brush cleaned off real good here. Get into those little nooks. Nice coat on them, I hope. You reasonably square. A little pressure down. And then, like I said, I hope that's square. Same over here. I think it'll connect. I'll go ahead and hit that side in case it does touch the edge. And something about like that. Down a little pressure. Okay, so okay. And I guess it's touching a little bit there, but it's not snug against it. Okay. Now I'm gonna try. I think, yeah, I'm gonna do this where I can really see that they're. Ooh, I know what I can do. Find me maybe this. No, I don't want to put that pressure against it. Yeah, I think I'll just put these in going on across now, so I can hand line them up. Don't have to eyeball it. I can actually put them in. I know I'm even at least. Pressure. And oh, those guys, yeah, pretty well lined up. That one's off just a hair, but I'm within tolerance to me. Now we got our double-edged guy, double-sided guy rather. So I'm gonna do let's see, make sure I get all got a good flat surface for it here. not going to be able to see it anyway, so I just knock that any extra paper we got on there. You're going to go in. May not even need glue on that. That's not. Okay, there it goes. Alright. Yeah, I broke that free, but still enough glue on there to. Yeah, those two. Okay. It's in there snug enough that I'm going to let that go. If it's going anywhere, still, yeah, that might be good. In place, alright. This one. Bump it up a little bit there. Not that one, the other one. There you are. It is sort of pretty flush along the bottom edge of our, right here. So, there we go. That's what I'll do. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now we should be that one on like that, and this one in right here. And that lines up good with our little notch up there. So yeah, I think that is the proper way to do it, or I don't know if the proper way to do it's the right way to phrase that, but I think that's how they get to do it. Okay, so back to the super glue. Looks even coat. I'll do a little bit on the bottom of that one. Pressure down. A little bit above, pushing up on there, but not much. So I got that much done. And this one. And actually isn't going to fit on the butt. Okay, I didn't didn't leave myself enough room on this side, so let's pop you off. I think it'll come off fairly easy. Make sure I get up against the edge over here. Yeah. So go all the way over like that. That gets me lined up over here. That's what I want. Okay. Second try's charm. Should be. Yep, it lines up good on both those. Yep. Yep. Actually, I'll do both sides on that one. Okay. And looking at the time, we're probably going to wait until tomorrow to do our little, finish up our little star candle holder light fixture TVs. On the edges there. Down, together, over, up, all the pressures. All right, and there, we got our a little bit of, okay. Yeah. Okay, then last little step. Let's get the backing in. So that goes. Got our notch in the corner there to match up with that one. So, like that. That's pretty close to. Oops, I do have some overlap here. Okay. I still think that was right, but maybe this was supposed to be sort of splitting the difference and this is but resting on top of it. I'm still, I say, just sort of gotta go with it on sometimes. Alright. But back to the old B7000 for paper gluing. This paper, so I'm not worried about getting a tremendous amount of glue on it. Just enough to make sure everything gets bonded down. And clear out those strings. Now, just whatever. If it ever gets in the way, I'll trim it out. I just want to make sure I get everything glued. And just like that. That sort of situation situated. And going along again, but let's see if I have any luck. How's these? Are they even sticking? Okay, they appear to be sticking. Well, they do sort of dangle, so. Now, I'm not sure about bonding that to that. I guess I'll stick with the B7000 because I don't know what else to do. I can get a touch in, like I said, in that little crook there. Maybe just drop it in. Hope it grabs on. Seems like it did. And here, dab on it to stay. that one's going haywire on me. Little pieces really test me. I don't have the dexterity or coordination to. I think I got an invisible string there on that one. Again. Okay. See what I mean? Okay. Let's. Once again, I'm gonna leave these things overnight. See if that glue can dry up and get situated appropriately. And once again, almost an hour goes by and we get a bookshelf. But I say that's part, like I said, for these things, that's just par for the course. You get to make a little bit of progress, a little bit of progress, a little bit of progress, and then everything will just hit all at once. But I want to make a little more progress tonight, so I've got a little lantern thing I can make too. I'll sit over here on let's do that, because I think this one actually, I did a dry fit, and it does like seat right on. Got a little wider, right, this bead has a little bit wider aperture on the back, so it just chunks right on there. Just so I can say I made something else. And I think that will probably be the easiest thing I get to make on this project. Just like a little lantern or something. But I'll leave that to dry overnight with those guys. And of course the back of our bookshelf still got to dry too. And we've still got our walls that we did yesterday. But we're making slow but steady progress, and that's just like I said, that's just how these projects are with the little bitty pieces, and actually building things by hand rather than using the cutouts. But every now and then it's nice to have a little bit of a challenge, I think. But I'm going to call it there tonight. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment, complain, share, do whatever you want to with all that. Be good to one another, stay safe, and click on a link. There's my channel over there if you'd like to subscribe. There's my other channel where one of these days I'm going to do another experiment, I promise. I just got to. This is what YouTube thinks you should be watching, and that is the playlist for this whole build. I'll see you tomorrow.